Welcome back to the Bishop Strickland Hour. I mentioned Archbishop Fulton Sheen and how I wish he was alive today. Well, in some ways he is, because people like Bishop Strickland and others keep bringing up his writings. And I think of this, Bishop Strickland, to set the stage. It seems like when we think worldly in the church, we do things like political correctness. Well, if men... men only priest. Well, why can't we let women? It's an equal rights thing, which they're totally missing the point on the supernatural aspect of our faith. But Bishop Sheen, you tweeted this: why can't women be a priest? Bishop Sheen says, because it's a man who gives the seed. And you said the good Archbishop of happy memory speaks the truth. We must remember today. I made the connection to our priests, I should say our church in Germany, and even the church in Rome that are discussing this issue. Did you just send this out because you thought maybe it could influence certain people to realize that St. John Paul II and the church has always taught that women can't be priests? That's my question. Why did you send this out?
Well, it needs to be emphasized. It's one of many teachings that people are saying, oh, this can change or needs to change.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's not some sort of human equality thing. It's about God's divine plan.
Exactly.
And as I've said, it's been a controversy ever since I was in the seminary.
Wow.
How come there aren't women priests and all of that? And really, I mean, I've known a lot of strong women.
Yes.
Very holy women.
Oh, man.
And in many ways, we're both men, but I'll speak for both of us.
Yeah.
I think women are naturally more spiritual.
Oh, yeah.
Than men are.
I think
men,
given.
Just the way we're made.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's part of being mothers and being tuned into that, but women have a natural spirituality that men have to work for. And I think that is part of God's wisdom in how he's made us male and female with differences that are complementary, but really are different. If you look at the churches that have welcomed women being, some of them, some of them have ordination, some of them don't have ordination, that they claim.
Yeah.
But when you welcome women to the role of pastoring, that's what priests do in the Catholic Church, then what are they seeing? The men aren't coming.
Right, of course.
They're having trouble getting any men to serve as pastors in a lot of these churches.
Yes.
Because men have to be pushed to do it.
Right.
And I think that's why the wisdom of the church, guided by the Holy Spirit, says only men can be ordained priests. Does that mean men are better? Absolutely not. It means we have a different role.
Exactly.
We have a different responsibility. And as I look at the question, there's so many gender issues that we're dealing with in the world.
Right.
We've forgotten that men are men, women are women. There are God-given differences that need to be supported. Instead, it's like it's all homogenized and we decide who we want to be and we can change. It's destructive to the human individual and to the human family. And so I think it's all the more important. I mean, it's always been important, but I think it's more important in our culture today to be very clear, as the church is, and she needs to remain very clear, that only men are ordained priests in our faith, not because men are better, but because this is God's plan, and we need men to fill their roles as we need women to fill their roles.
Well said, and that kind of ties me right back to Archbishop Samples of Portland, Oregon. He's telling Catholic schools to use named pronouns that are assigned at birth. And he's being very clear because now Portland is a very progressive place, unlike Texas. he's saying that the guidelines are very clear. Pronouns used at school must match the biological sex. Schools should not have all gender bathrooms beyond single-use facilities. Sports, all this, he just says basically common sense things. And what I want to say is what you just said is that we're so confused. It's like that unisex, that we don't have a male and female. We're wanting to say it's whatever you feel. And it seems that, we as the church, we should be speaking out like the Archbishop of Portland, saying, no, that nonsense. This is how God made man and woman. Like that 16-year-old kid last week up in Canada who said, no, my school is, they're changing. No, I believe in Genesis. I believe in the Bible. And I think that it was exciting for me to see the Archbishop of Portland say, no, wait a minute, not on my watch. I have a responsibility to teach, govern, and sanctify. I don't know if you saw the article, Bishop Strickland. Well, yes, you did, because you tweeted, you agree with it. But isn't it clear that we need more and more of this where we can get clarity over just compromise?
Absolutely. And one thing I would point out, Terry, as you mentioned, it's interesting how language gets used these days.
Oh, yeah.
And you mentioned that, and I know exactly what you're saying, that Oregon is very progressive.
Yes.
But the way progressive is being used, I think we as people of faith need to really ask ourselves, is that progress?
No.
Is that moving to a better place? That's what progress should be.
Yeah.
But the progressive movements are really taking us deeper into darkness.
Amen.
When they depart from the truth that God has revealed to us. So I think we as believers, Christians and certainly Catholics, we need to be very clear that progress is not taking us away from the truth that God has revealed to us. That's what's happening, is not really progress. And certainly the language is used, but it's really not progressing if it's taking us further from God. Real progress is the salvation of our souls, right. And even in this life, to move closer and closer to God by turning from sin and by living the truth of the gospel. I think it's important for us as people of faith to recognize how even the language is being used in improper ways, and ways that can kind of fool us into thinking, oh, well, that's progressive. It really isn't progressive at all.